The $10,000 Universe Challenge. 4 billion years ago our planet was simply a cooling sphere of matter. So how did this planetary rock create the complex webs of consciousness which surround us today? How did consciousness ascend from matter? The greatest minds for the past 5,000 years have attempted this riddle in a myriad of forms, and they have created the two great creation models of matter and consciousness, the two mother lodes for philosophy, science, religion, and mysticism. We can call these two models the four-block model of matter proposed by Western science, and the genie's bottle model of consciousness proposed by the mystics. We can also suggest that our true education does not begin until we are faced with these two creation models, so that we can reveal the underlying structures for our universe. In the four-block matter creation model, the basis for our universe can be described using only four simple building blocks. The first block is the space-time gravitational vault, and the second block is primal matter. We can shrink these two blocks down to a tiny point of no thingness, and then explode them as the Big Bang. The third block is the underlying laws, such as the tendency to complexity and natural selection. The fourth block is the appearance of consciousness, which arises as a hallucination created by complex chemistry. In this model, the background fields of the universe are space-time gravity and primal matter, including their associated realms of dark matter and dark energy. These dark realms appear like the term terra nullius, or unknown lands, marked upon our ancient maps, because they are not made from the protons and neutrons of our physical universe. It is proposed that these dark expanses will comprise more than 95% of the total universe. Note, space-time gravity is used as a generic term to describe all the underlying components of the universe, which can be described as neither consciousness nor awareness. The genie's bottle consciousness model, however, proposes that within an eternal dimension of pure awareness there arises a vault or genie's bottle of consciousness, which is woven from the three dimensions of deep sleep, dream, and waking, with the reflected light of the ego sense appearing within to create a koan or cosmic riddle. How can the reflected light of the ego find the sun which lights all, yet cannot be seen? In this model, the three dimensions of consciousness appear as octaves of one another, with each octave containing 7 internal steps, so that deep sleep dimension is 7 times as powerful as dream, and dream is 7 times as powerful as waking. Waking dimension in the physical universe will then comprise only 100 over 49, or 2.0408163265% of the universe, with the remainder becoming the 97.95918367335% of the universe, known to science as dark matter and dark energy. This model has echoed throughout history, taking such forms as animism, Plato's cave model, India's Om model, Tibet's luminosity model, China's Taoist model, Joseph Campbell's heroes model, and a myriad of the world's mysticisms and religious faiths. In response to these two models, www.quantar.co proposes a $10,000 Universe Challenge. To collect the prize, just be the first person to describe a plausible creation theory which is not simply a variation of one of the two models presented above, or through simple logic prove to the creator of the Quantar.co website that the matter creation model fits the facts for our universe better than the consciousness model. For further information and a detailed exploration of the challenge, visit www.quantar.co. We can suggest now, if the mystic's creation model is correct, that we at last have the input formula for the cosmic fractal, the law of 3 and 7, a formula which is the source for the transcendental number pi. We also have the reason for the octet structures for matter and biology, such as the 64 codons of DNA, the atomic structure, the periodic table of elements, and the subparticle realms of chromodynamics. We have the nature and values for the mysterious realms of dark matter and dark energy. We have the source for the Fibonacci structure for our solar system, revealed to be a power turbine of matter consciousness. We have the theory of everything, a construct of 43 powers of consciousness and awareness, which create the appearance of our universe, powers described by the ancient creation models of Indian mysticism. We have the source for the octet structures for the human psyche and Western music, and we can at last describe the journey of awakening from the reflected light of the ego sense to the creating light of eternal awareness. This mystic's creation model also has huge political and military implications, for all fascist philosophies are based upon a contraction of consciousness, and there is no such contraction in this mystic's creation model. Further, the mystics have not only mapped the causal forces for our universe, but they have also explored the structure of the human psyche. So in the genie's bottle model, we can now zoom into the reflected light of the cosmos to reveal this image of the psyche. If we look at this image, we can see that the body's psyche is similar to a magic tapestry of consciousness, woven from 7 psychic centers, which form vibrational octaves to create the journeys of personal psyche. These journeys appear because the human body forms as a miniature genie's bottle, which we enter within our mother's womb. We enter this bottle through the fontanelle, the opening at the crown of the head, as a plume of pure consciousness, before we descend the spine until we reach wisdom heart, where we dwell, awaiting our birth. At birth we find ourselves cast in a great arc of psychic destiny, falling through the front of the heart in a descent to the feet, where we draw upon ourselves a shroud of forgetfulness, the dreaming nature of the personal self. This act creates an individual journey, the ascent through the psychic centers suspended upon the spine, until we eventually return to our remembrance at wisdom heart. In this way there is a chronology written upon the body, so that during early childhood we cyclically dwell at the feet, ankles and calves. By the age of 6 we have cyclically reached the knees. By 10 or 12 we have reached the pelvis and puberty. We must then ascend through the adult aspects of feeling upon the lower abdomen, mind at the belly, and ego structure at the liver to return to wisdom heart. In this way we can see the holy grail of our myths is simply the spinal column of consciousness radiating its clear perception. Our very nature then has been the grail that we have mythically sought, and we have been travelling with the grail strapped to our backs in a peculiar state of existential forgetfulness. Welcome then to the $10,000 Universe Challenge at Quantar.co.